Hi, my name is Anand. I'm the Director for Program Management at Microsoft, driving this product, Dynamics Fraud Protection. And my colleague and boss, Jay Nanduri, is also here. I'll just speak by myself. We are planning to do it together, but I think this time we'll try it solo. So I just wanted to give you a brief outline of what we are trying to do in this session. This is a new product that we have brought to market recently in October for general availability. And so because it's new, I think it's worthwhile to kind of discuss what area we are tackling, what are the customer outcomes we are trying to achieve. So I'll start by talking a little bit about whether fraud is actually affecting your business. How do you know? What are the indications? And what's happening in the industry? Because it's good to know, because as the digital transformation is happening, especially all businesses who are going online are seeing fraud as a big problem that's coming and affecting their businesses. And often it's not very clear to them what is the overall size and extent of the impact. So it's worth talking about that a bit. Then actually I'll introduce the product itself. I'll kind of run you through the capabilities of the product and what are the experiences. And actually I'll jump into a product demo. And finally, I'll spend quite a bit of time talking about the impact that DFP can have on your business in terms of the KPIs. Because ultimately, fraud protection is all about driving your top line and your bottom line KPIs. And that is really the way we measure goodness. And then I can take questions. So as you know, as digital transformation proceeds, e-commerce is really a very important last mile of digital transformation. That's how people, that's how merchants are connecting with their customers, actually getting goods in their hands and getting paid. And so it's not a wonder that e-commerce is booming very rapidly. I'm saying it's projected that e-commerce will cross something like 5 trillion by 2022-23. And given this rapid growth, it's almost like exponential growth. That's cause for celebration, obviously, because merchants can reach their customers faster, sell more. However, there is a downside to this. Just like e-commerce has made it very easy and extremely fluid for customers to purchase online, it has also made the task of fraudsters kind of easier. They can attack anonymously, they can attack en masse, they can attack and get out of there very quickly. All of the things which are not possible for brick and mortar kind of fraud attacks, where physicality is involved. And so you can see fraud losses are also increasing rapidly, and by very conservative estimates, something like 2% of all revenues are just lost to fraud, just because merchants are shipping goods to fraudsters, essentially, and then they're later asked to give the funds back to the genuine owners of payment instruments. So this itself is something that should be cause for worry, right? But the story doesn't end there. There is actually a much more extended and grievous side to this story of fraud. One is that, beyond the actual fraud loss that is caused because the goods are shipped to fraudsters, there is also a significant additional overhead because of fees and penalties from banks. Because every time there is a fraudulent charge to a credit card, and that is identified by the card owner, the bank will initiate something called a chargeback, and the processing and the representment and all the overheads of the chargeback can actually be very grievous, like $2 to $3 for every dollar of fraud loss. So sometimes the chargeback fees actually outrun the actual underlying loss of the COGS itself. So that itself means that for every $100 of revenue, now you're losing something like $6 to $8 of revenue to loss, right? Loss and other expenses. And then there is another further kind of outlying circle of impact, which is that in the process of protecting yourself from all these fraudulent losses, merchants and banks both become very conservative. They start rejecting more and more valid transactions. And that actually means that you're leaving revenue on the table. That means that, transactions that should have been allowed to happen are not allowed to happen. And again, by conservative estimates, something like 20% of all revenue is left on the table in e-commerce today. And then finally, there is this last but equally grievous impact, which is once you're afraid of fraud and you're afraid that if you launch a product simultaneously in many markets and in many domains, it will get attacked by virulent fraud vectors. Once you're afraid of that, you kind of slow down. You kind of roll out slowly from market to market. These are the things we commonly see a lot of merchants doing. But what that means is that they're becoming less agile in their shipping cycle, and because of that, they're not competitive anymore. So fraud can actually become or the process of fighting fraud and not doing it efficiently can actually become a competitive disadvantage, which is actually a very interesting thought worth pondering. And the statistics about the spend of fraud are also equally revealing. Something like in 2023, it's expected to rise to like upwards of 60 billion. These are huge numbers. That's like another proof point that the problem of fraud is there and it's growing. Otherwise, this spend won't be growing so fast, right? So let me run you through a quick example of how fraud happens, just to kind of ground you into what we are talking about. The way this works is that typically your payment instrument details and your name and address and things like that, that kind of information is unfortunately out there already. It's on the dark web often. And that falls into the hands of the fraudster. Either he buys it or gets hold of it somehow. It's not very uncommon, actually, by the way. And then what he does, that fraudster does, he goes to the online portal of a business, contoso.com, and he tries to buy something there. And he fills the card, says checkout, and when he's asked to give the payment instrument information, he will actually give that stolen card info. Now, this is the difference here. There is no swipe. Like in an actual brick and mortar shop, there will be a slide. There is a chip and pin card. There is some physicality. Here, there is no swipe. You have to just enter the information, right? So he can enter whatever he wants there, and there is no real check. And if the merchant decides to allow that transaction and it goes to the bank for authorization of the funds, and the bank also approves it, at that time, the fraudster will be shipped the goods. He's scot-free. He got the goods. He's gone. And later, after some time, the actual holder of the card will charge it back. They'll dispute the charge, and then the merchant has to give the money back. So the merchant will lose the COGS. That's how the fraud loss happens. So the banks obviously don't like this because they undergo processing fees and overheads. The end user, the true holder of the card, doesn't like it, obviously, because it causes him inconvenience. But the merchant is really the person who is getting hit. And that primarily happens because the liability for online purchase fraud is on the merchant. It's not on the bank or the card network or anybody else. There are other examples of online fraudulent activity. I won't go into too much detail here, but scalpers can actually run bot farms to attack offers which are, suppose on Black Friday there's an offer in the morning. There'll be like a huge bot network attacking and capturing all the inventory, and then they'll go and sell it on the secondary market. And this type of fraud is a little bit nuanced, right? It's not like the merchant is not getting money for his goods. But what is happening is that all the goods are being captured by a small group of scalpers who are selling later. That means that it's not getting into the hands of his loyal fans immediately, and that can cause like long-term disenchantment with the merchant and his products. And once you lose the loyalty of your users, then you are dead meat anyway. So this is the problem here, that it's not like necessarily always measured in terms of dollar loss of COGS, but the impact of fraud can often be in terms of user experience and impact on your target segment of customers. So just to summarize, the impact of fraud on merchants is obviously very clear. They have COGS loss, they have operational expenses rising, and more importantly, they can, in the process of fighting fraud, they may actually reject a lot of good transactions and leave revenue on the table. And because of this, they will lose business, basically. Their customers, who are the end shoppers, will actually suffer suboptimal experiences of purchase. Nobody likes to be like rejected when they're trying to shop something in a hurry and suddenly you see a message, sorry, your transaction did not go through. It really hurts people, right? And this can actually be a social problem too, because a lot of people don't have multiple credit cards, so they cannot try, if my American Express card got rejected, I would try with my other card. This kind of thing is not necessarily possible for every user, right? So some people have only one credit card. And so it actually becomes like a denial of opportunity kind of social problem too. And then the bank, as I said, doesn't like the idea of doesn't like the idea of getting its valid card transactions rejected because of fear of fraud. Because as you know, banks really want to keep their card at the top of the wallet. You must have done this many times. If one card gets rejected, you'll automatically put it at the back of your wallet and try to use another credit card if you have one. And then it will stick. That card becomes your frontline card for the next several purchases. That means that the bank whose card was put at the back of the wallet is losing all the revenue from the interchange which they get. It's like, which is a sizable revenue, 2 to 3% of all the transaction value. So banks lose revenue, so they are not happy. So having spent all this time explaining the impact of fraud, I think then I'll now move to actually explaining the product and how it tries to solve this problem, and what are the innovations that we have brought to the market. So I would like to call out one thing here, that the product's kind of philosophy is really different from other products that you see on the market. The classical view about fraud protection has been really fraud protection, in the sense that reduce fraud losses. That is the objective of optimization. Make the fraud losses, the chargeback losses as small as possible. And in the process, obviously, keep some sanity. Don't reject too many good transactions. So the fraud loss is the target, and the impact on valid transactions is like a constraint that you want to keep under some some limit. The new approach, which is what we have adopted, is let's not talk about fraud losses in isolation. Let's actually try to maximize the user experience and the user loyalty to your shopping portal and maximize your profitability. And that actually encapsulates not just losses, but more importantly, encapsulates the top line, the revenue. And that is very important because in the process of fighting fraud and keeping it very low, if you reject too many of your good transactions, you are actually not doing the right thing in terms of profitability. And ultimately, businesses are all about profitability. This is kind of economics 101. And it seems like a simple change of paradigm, but actually, I believe that we are one of the very first companies and very first service providers also to do this in a systematic way. And it has paid rich dividends for us in our own first-party protection for Microsoft. As I'll describe, this product is built on years of experience of protecting Microsoft. So we have seen this really work for ourselves, and now we are very sure and we are very humbly grateful that we are able to bring this capability to our customers. So just to give you a quick overview of the product itself, basically the product makes 3 customer promises. The first one is the most important one, in my opinion, is that actually will help you increase your revenue, your top line. And that's kind of a little strange, right? Like, how can a fraud protection product help a merchant increase his top line? How is that even possible? And I'll talk about that more. But the idea here is that you improve your customer's experience, you improve the rate of rejections and things like that. And by that, you actually open up your funnel. And that is what this product does. Secondly, we'll actually help reduce your operational expenses, which is where the fraud loss and all the overheads of manual review and all that come into being. And we'll obviously reduce it. We'll not even just keep it constant. We'll actually push it down, even as we are increasing your revenue. And then the third one, which is, I believe, is a very important pillar. In fact, I would say that dominates and makes the other 2 possible, is that we'll do all this while we keep the experience of your shoppers good and fluid and simple. We won't let them suffer with a lot of challenges and a lot of, puzzles to solve, captchas. It's very irritating when you have to do that. In a hurry, you're trying to purchase something and you're asked, oh, can you solve this captcha? Can you look at the OTP and put it in that field? That's a big turnoff, and there's a lot of abandonment because of that, and we want to really reduce that to the minimum. Sorry, I just want to talk through the capabilities. So to achieve these customer promises, we actually have like a 5-cornered kind of pentagon of feature set that we have built. And these are all like differentiating features. And these are the things which are really kind of pushing the envelope on. Of course, there's a whole bunch of other features which are like commonly available, which are also available in our product. But these 5 are really like the special sauce, right? So the first one is adaptive AI. So our product obviously is an AI product. Almost all products today are. But this AI is a different breed altogether. And it's different because the problem of fraud is not a static problem. It's not like face recognition or language understanding where you do it once well and then you're done it. The fraud changes. The probability models that govern fraud patterns, they keep on changing all the time. New fraud patterns flare up on an hourly basis. And so your AI has to have the ability to actually learn and adapt to these newly emerging patterns. And so you need a very different kind of agile AI technique which can learn and relearn fraud patterns very rapidly. Secondly, you can fight fraud well only when you actually have a global view of what's happening in the ecosystem of e-commerce. And I'll tell you why. The reason for this is that fraudsters do not respect the boundaries of merchants. A fraudster doesn't say that I'm going to defraud Contoso only and I'm not going to touch any other merchant. They do that. They attack in a very broad spectrum way indiscriminately. And when a trick or when a fraud attack vector, as they call it, works at one merchant, they'll go and use it at every other merchant. So if the fraudsters, who are your kind of adversaries in this game of fraud protection, if they are not obeying the rules of sticking to a particular merchant, why should you as a fraud protection system kind of put yourselves in silos and try to protect the merchant only based on his data, right? So what we realize is that when you actually connect the data across multiple service providers, multiple merchants together in a very responsible and de-identified way, obviously, which is what we do in the fraud protection network, you're able to actually reduce fraud and identify legitimate transactions in a much better accuracy than you would if you just like used the merchant's data by itself. And that is the function of the fraud protection network. The third capability is called the transaction acceptance booster, which is really unique in the industry. And this is something for which we receive a lot of interest and kudos from our merchants as well as our bank partners. So the idea here is that Microsoft has developed special relationships with numerous banks where, and these are card issuing banks, such that when a transaction is happening at a merchant, and the merchant uses DFP to assess the transaction's risk, and finally, based on an assessment, he makes a call that, hey, I want to send this transaction to the bank for authorization. At that time, if the merchant gives us the instruction to do so, we will also send some trust knowledge to the bank in real time as the transaction is going to the bank for authorization. We do this like in the order of a few hundred milliseconds. And the idea here is that when the transaction goes to the bank for authorization, they actually have this contextual knowledge from DFP about the riskiness of the transaction, the approximate location. We anonymize it to a sufficient extent so that it doesn't fall afoul of any privacy standards, and some information about the device. And this information is not available to the bank today at all. And because of this extra information, suddenly their ability to assess the riskiness of the transaction improves a lot, and they're able to actually give higher acceptance. So this is a very important feature. The fourth feature is a customer escalation support tool. The idea here basically is that no risk management system can be perfect, right? It can never be perfect at stopping all fraud and never be perfect at making sure that no legitimate transactions get affected. It's impossible. So sometimes you may reject a legitimate transaction, but as long as you provide a mitigation to make that right, you're okay. And that mitigation is this tool. Basically, we give the merchant a very 360 view about the transaction, all the data associated with it, including the risk engine, the machine learning engine score, and explanation reasons. And all that contextual data allows the customer support agent to do a much better mitigation of that escalation. And finally, we have a very new set of capabilities that are coming to market in April called account protection. And one of the early capabilities of that suite of features is called account creation protection. This particular feature is already in GA. It's already available in the product. The idea here is that a lot of fraud can be stopped at the account creation stage itself, because a lot of accounts are fraudulently created, often by bot networks and often using synthetic identities. And if you don't allow those accounts to be created, then you can actually stop all the subsequent misbehavior and fraud behavior that can happen from that account. And so this helps actually purchase fraud reduction because you're stopping fraudsters one stage earlier at the stage of account protection. So as you can imagine, the slide which I showed you earlier were the kind of problem spaces or the problem impacts that were happening on the merchants, customers, and banks. As you can expect, with the customer promises I described earlier, now all those are mitigated. The merchants can actually reduce their losses, increase their revenue. Banks can increase their revenue and loyalty to the card. And customers, obviously, the shoppers, are having a seamless experience during their online shopping journey. So now I'll switch gears a little bit, show you a little bit of the architecture of the system. So let me first run you through how a typical purchase happens, online purchase happens. There's a call flow, which I want to just describe quickly. So a shopper will come to, which is that merchant's customer, he'll come to your purchase portal, and he'll try to buy something from you online using your online store. And he'll load a cart and say, purchase now or checkout. At that time, if the merchant is not using DFP, he may use some internal facility, or he may call another service provider to make an assessment of risk. But if he decides that, yes, the risk doesn't look high, he will actually send that request to the bank, the issuing bank, whose card was being presented as the payment instrument. And that request goes over a typical flow called auth-settled flow, which has been in existence for maybe 50, 60 years now. It was primarily built initially for card-present transactions, which is like brick-and-mortar purchases, brick-and-mortar store purchases. That same flow is used even for card-not-present transactions today. So there are like payments providers, gateways, acquirers and processors, and card networks on the way as the transaction goes to the bank. But what happens now is that the bank gets this authorization call, and then the bank's risk engine makes its assessment, saying that, hey, should I allow this transaction or not? Is it risky or not? And they also look at some other factors like, are funds available? Is the credit line enough? And things like that. But if they do accept it, then over that same auth-settled flow, the funds will flow back. Then the merchant gets an intimation that the funds have been deposited into its account, and he can release the goods to the shopper. So this is where DFP will fit into this picture. So what we kind of encourage the customers to do is call DFP in a pre-auth kind of configuration, where even before you initiate the auth-settled flow with the bank, you should first call DFP and get a sense about what is the riskiness of the transaction. So they basically call us with a transaction payload, which is an online server-to-server API call. They also kind of do some JavaScript enrichment on their web pages for the portal, so that some client-side information about the device is also collected by DFP. But of course, this is all done with the merchant's approval and knowledge, and the merchant also has to tell his end shoppers through a EULA that he's going to collect this information for this specific reason of fraud protection. And that's how you kind of stay compliant with GDPR requirements. And then all that information, the server call as well as the client call, together is merged in our system. I'll describe that in a little more detail in that box, what's happening. But essentially, after processing it and then running a machine learning over it, basically scoring it with our model, we produce an assessment. And then assessment is given back to the merchant. The assessment is nothing but a number between like 0 to 10,000. It's a score. And that score, basically, when the score is high, it's indicating that the probability of fraud is high. If the score is low, the probability of fraud is low. And actually, we calibrate that score to be actually a probability. So when the score is like 80%, if you look at all transactions with a score of 80 on a scale of 1 to 100, let's say, or 0 to 100, all those transactions will, on an average, will have 20%, 80% fraud and 20% legitimate transactions. So that's the call flow that would typically happen. And then if the assessment went back to the merchant decides to approve, and then he can send it to the bank. But as I said, we have this extra kind of sauce, secret sauce on top, where we actually talk with the bank on behalf of the merchant. So if the merchant has given us approval, we'll actually, in real time, also send that transaction trust knowledge to the bank over as a completely different out-of-band mechanism. And the bank will actually get that in real time, even before the actual authorization flow reaches to the bank. And then they will be able to actually make a call whether to allow the transaction or not. And hopefully, it will be more accurate, that call, and hence the acceptance rate will be higher. So let me kind of delve into that box itself, what DFP looks like inside. So think of this as a zoom in into the DFP box. So what's happening inside the box is really that there is a trust boundary in the middle. And on the left side of the trust boundary, you have all these merchant spaces, as we call them. Each merchant or each customer of Microsoft for fraud protection has their own space. And of course, one merchant cannot peek into other merchant space and so on. Even Microsoft cannot actually peek into, we cannot peek into any merchant space. It's really owned by the merchant. It's their Azure, it's in their AAD tenant. They have the credentials. They actually own that tenant. The trick here is that the incoming call for fraud protection, the API call, actually goes to the tenant first, to the merchant tenant first. That's where it is processed, and we do certain de-identification or tokenization routines there in that merchant side space. And only when that de-identified data is then actually picked up, and then programmatically it calls into that backend box, which is the consortium, which is the anti-fraud network. And that anti-fraud network is where the AI and the ML lives. That's where the scoring is done. And the score is then returned back to the merchant space, and then the merchant space will return it back to the portal from where the call came. So as you can see, there is a strict trust boundary in the middle, and there is only a programmatic API-based data exchange between the trust boundary. And more importantly, only de-identified tokenized data ever goes into the consortium. So the consortium, even if somebody peeked into the consortium, they are not going to see anything else than a bunch of de-identified tokens connected in a graph. So it's compliant, and it's very, we have taken great pains to make the security and privacy strength of this product high. And you can see that kind of reflected in the fact that at launch, actually even just before launch, we already had ISO 27001, 27018 compliance, especially 27018 is about GDPR, privacy. And then we have SOC 2, and then we have the GDPR compliance. So it's kind of very interesting that a young product which has just been brought to market is already compliant on these very essential and hard standards. So having said that, now I would like to kind of give you a quick demo, product demo, and if you have any question, please stop me. I'm willing to answer your questions immediately. So as I said, the product actually is a very broad-based product. It actually helps the customer really traverse a journey about how you start from understanding the impact to evaluating it in terms of like doing an A/B experiment with your incumbent system, and then finally actually taking a bet on it and actually start using it for actual making your decision-making in your e-commerce flow. And this e-commerce flow is really your bloodline, right? It's really your lifeline. Your revenue is flowing through it. So people don't want to make sudden changes to that system unless they're very sure about that new thing which you're including in that flow. Is it going to help me or not? So that's the reason we take a lot of pain and trouble to kind of make sure that this journey is clean and understandable. So in the diagnose experience first, what we do is we ask you to send us some historical data, a few months of historical data from your e-commerce flow. And we basically score that data with our ML and our risk models. And we actually give you a score, and we give you, and I'll show you the UX shortly. But basically, we give you an understanding of how good our discrimination mechanism of fraud and non-fraud is based on your historical data. And then you can benchmark it and compare it against your incumbent and figure out whether the impact is high enough. And then when that is convincing enough, then we ask you to say, hey, now you can go ahead and integrate with the APIs, actually integrate from your shopping portal, send us real-time data through RESTful APIs, and then do a kind of shadow test for a couple of months and see how our score in real time is doing against your incumbent score. That's really like the proof of the pudding, right? And then finally, in the protect phase, you are already convinced now that the impact on the KPIs is significant, and at that time, you'll actually start using it for decisions, use our rule engine, use the support tool, use the transaction acceptance booster to give signals to the bank and the whole shebang. At that time, you're operational, basically, on the system. So let's go through the product demo quickly. So as I said, there is an aspect in the product in the early stages where you can upload data to do a diagnosis experience. So we have a very simple, clean, file picker-based experience where you can upload data from your network or from your local machine, and you can present it to our system for analysis, right? And there is a very standard format for the CSV file. It's very clean and simple. And we are also working on building connectors in the future versions of our product where we can actually connect to other databases directly and pull the data rather than you having to create a CSV file. So even that facility will happen soon. But essentially, we ask you to give information about your purchases, payment information, product information, and things like that. I do want to call out that we don't ask for like complete payment card information. We don't ask you for the credit card number. We just ask you for the BIN and the last four. So all the data we ask is like in a very measured way. We have chosen only those data fields which are actually relevant to fraud protection. And as we'll talk about later, even if some of those are sensitive pieces of information, we never actually see them in the raw anyway. They are actually on flight also, they're encrypted, and they first land in the merchant space. And in the merchant space, they're actually de-identified first, and only then they are sent to the risk engine. So when the risk engine receives the data, it's just a bunch of hash-based tokens. The next experience is actually the risk diagnostic report. The aim here, as I said, is to take your historical data and actually show how our engine scores it and what kind of AI accuracy we achieve. So the classic way of doing this, a well-understood way, is called the ROC, or the receiver operating curve, which is basically plotting the detection probability versus the false alarm probability. So it's like the ability to detect an event of interest, whether this is cancer or whether this is fraud. Those are like you're trying to detect some kind of interesting event. But at the same time, you don't want to like misfire it. You don't want to like say that it is fraud when it is not, which is called a false positive. So to do that, we first score the data with our engine, and we'll actually plot it, plot a histogram, and across the score bins between 0 to 100. We bin the score in bins of 100, size 100, so that you have 100 bins. You remember the score was between 0 to 10,000. So essentially, if it was an ideal system, all the fraud, the red would all get piled on the high side of the score range. All the green would get piled on the left side. But obviously, in a real world, it cannot be perfect separation. There is some overlap, and then you have to kind of like see how much that overlap means in terms of your ROC curve. And as you can see below, the ROC curve is showing you like a curve about what is the distribution between false positives and true positives. And then you can compare this with your incumbent system and make a call whether this makes sense for you in terms of the impact. I just want to call out that this is just now based on synthetic data, so don't read too much into the actual shape of the curve here. The next thing we do, actually, a very interesting experience is called a virtual fraud analyst. So before I tell you what this is, just understand that there is a basic problem that an operations person has to solve. Is any risk engine is going to return you a score of some kind, and then you have to make a choice. How do you make a decision based on the score? And typically that decision making is based on a simple rule, like, hey, if the score is above a certain threshold, then reject. And if it's below a certain threshold, then accept. And then you choose that threshold based on your ability to kind of, consume, the ability to eat losses versus your desire not to lose good revenue, right? But if you remember, I said earlier, really our aim should be maximize profitability. So really, there is actually a single operating point, which is actually the maximum, the best threshold. The problem is that most people don't know how to find that threshold because it requires a fair bit of computation. So what we do is that we give an in-product tool called a virtual fraud analyst, which actually gives you this mechanism to find out at what point you are actually getting the best trade-off between false positives and false negatives. And it's a very easy to use experience where they actually tell you, hey, at this operating point, you will catch 80% of your fraud, but you'll affect maybe 2% of your good transactions. And then if you have the COGS and margins information at your hand, then you can easily convert that into a profit number and see if that's getting maximized. So this is something that has found a lot of traction. A lot of our customers say that this is quite new in the industry. For this, they used to typically hire data scientists, 2 or 3 data scientists just to do this calculation. And now they say with this tool, even a business leader can do this calculation easily. Then, of course, because this is a very data-driven and KPI-driven product, obviously we need to have a very thorough scorecard experience to actually tell you what impact is this having on your business by using our product. So this scorecard actually applies both to the evaluate phase and to the protect phase. In the evaluate phase, it allows you to do like an A/B comparison. You can basically shadow test our product, that what are the main KPIs of your business looking under your incumbent solution and under DFP. And when you go to protect mode, obviously those 4 KPIs are your observational KPIs. You're going to actually report them out on a daily or weekly basis. So you can kind of use this as your operational dashboard too. The 4 KPIs, just to want to make sure you get it, the 4 KPIs that really matter here are, the first one is the acceptance, the transaction volume of your business, because the volume itself keeps spiking up and down as you go along. There are temporal variations and so on. But suddenly if the volume drops rapidly, then either something has happened and your website is down, or something is really broken and it's turning off your customers from trying out your portal. So you have to keep a close eye on your volume. The second one is obviously the rate at which you're accepting and rejecting transactions, and then the resulting false positive rate. It's kind of interesting how to measure false positives. It's not that easy. You need to run something like a control group, or alternatively, you can actually use signals like escalation rate of customers as a baseline against which you can measure. The third one, which is on the lower left, is actually a very important KPI, in my opinion. It is the bank acceptance rate. It is the rate at which, if you send 100 transactions to the bank for authorization, how many do they typically accept? And if the bank rejects like 20 out of your 100 good transactions, then you are basically not able to complete business on 20% of the transactions. That's severe, right? So any uptick in that KPI is important. And then finally, the one on the bottom right is the one which everybody fixates on when they talk about fraud protection, which is the chargeback rate or the fraud loss rate. Obviously, this is an important KPI, but as I said earlier, you should not be fixating only on this one KPI. You should actually make sure that that KPI looks good while all the other KPIs are also doing well. And in fact, as I said, the aim is really to maximize the top right and bottom left KPI while keeping the fraud loss kind of contained, because your ultimate aim is to maximize profitability. And finally, as I said, there should be a support experience to mitigate customer escalations. A customer will call you saying that, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm not able to complete my transaction. What's going on? Why are you rejecting me? And then at that time, the customer support agent can actually look up the information about that transaction or that user very quickly and get a very 360 view of what's going on. He can understand the lifetime history of the user who's on the phone call. He can also look at the particular transaction and understand what are the details, where it was bought, what are the locations associated with that transaction, shipping, billing information, and so on. He can also see what are the previous transactions. And in fact, you can use that information to quickly gauge whether that person who is calling and escalating is actually a genuine shopper or is like a fraudster. You shouldn't be surprised to learn that fraudsters actually routinely call escalation lines to try to get by, because their actual mainline fraud system is stopping them. So they call the support agent and say, hey, I'm not able to purchase this. Can you please let me through? And if the support agent gets fooled and allows that to happen, then it's like free rein to the fraudster for the next few hours or few days, because they are even whitelisted for a certain amount of time. So it's a very critical decision, and the support agent needs to be very well informed about what he's doing before he makes that call. So this tool basically gives him that 360 view about the product, about the transaction and the user. So, and then lastly, I want to call out an experience which we have, which has turned out to be quite eye-catching, and people have really said that this has changed the way they look at their data. So what we do, as I said, we ask the merchant to send us several types of data about the purchase that is happening. The user data, the device-related information, the product-related information, payment instrument-related information. And we connect all this data, not just of this transaction, but of all transactions that have happened so far, into this very big knowledge graph. And then we give you this mechanism called Graph Explorer to actually explore that graph. You can look up any transaction, any node from this graph, land on it, and then you can actually investigate. You can walk that graph, right? You can find out what are the connections, what is related to what. And this has turned out to be very important for fraud analysts, because when they start seeing a problem, they can actually go and investigate. It's like going into a strange new land, and it's like a map which is allowing you to navigate through that strange new land and find out where the problem spots are. And fraud investigators find this very useful to figure out clusters of fraud and actually take evasive action or make changes to their portal, because they realize that, hey, there's a new fraud vector which has been discovered, and they can see its footprint in the graph using this tool. So now I will come to kind of the last part of the presentation, where impact. We want to figure out, hey, how much is this product really helping you in terms of dollars, in terms of your customers' user experience and so on. So I just want to call out here that, as I said earlier, this product is built on many years of experience that our team has in protecting Microsoft's own online businesses. As you know, Microsoft is a very big software house. Obviously, this conference is dedicated to all the various different things that we bring to market. What is not so known is that we sell many of these things online as a merchant. We are an e-commerce merchant, one of the top 10, in fact, in the US. And so some of the numbers are quite mind-blowing. We have like a volume of much more than a billion transactions per year. And we have like a active user base of like close to 800 million. And as like all other merchants, we also get attacked. Fraudsters attack us on a daily basis. They make a habit or a business of it. They try to defraud our storefronts. And so we typically see like more than $1 billion of attempted fraud. Now, this fraud doesn't go through because our system is there guarding the gates, but attempts are happening. And if we start doing worse, or for some reason, God forbid, our defenses go down, that number would spike, because fraudsters attack as soon as they see there is a weakness, right? And these are for purchases, but even there are other kinds of interactions that our customers have, like logging in, creating accounts for free trials and things like that with Azure and Office and things. Even there, a lot of abuse of trial accounts happens. And we typically see that 500,000 fraudulent signups for these trial experiences happen every year. Attempts at trial fraudulent signups. We, of course, stop most of them. So it's important to keep this in mind. And what I'm trying to say is that there are a lot of service providers out there who give fraud protection as a service, but not many of them actually have this experience that we have of protecting themselves as a merchant. And this unique kind of ability that we bring to the table is largely rooted in the fact that we have done this and done this well for our own business. And here is the kind of evidence of that this has worked for Microsoft. So as I said, there are two aspects to the KPIs. We talked about this earlier. One is to kind of try to increase your top line. You open up your funnel, you get more revenue into the hopper. And because we are stopping fewer good transactions, and we are actually ensuring that there are fewer wrongful rejects, and we are making the customer experience smoother, we are actually able to reduce the false positives by like 1.38 percentage points, which is like 138 basis points. And we are able to lift revenue by 769 basis points. These are huge numbers. So if you add these two up together, you are talking about something like 900 basis points of lift in revenue. You can imagine that this is very rare in the industry, where you can actually raise revenue by so many hundreds of basis points by the application of one product. So we are very proud of this, that we achieved this at Microsoft. And then the two KPIs at the bottom are actually talking about the bottom line, the losses or the operational expenses, and how we have reduced them. So we have reduced our fraud losses by $75 million, which corresponds to about 52 basis points of reduction in chargeback rate. And then we also have reduced our expenses, especially manual review expenses, dramatically by 70%, because we now use manual reviews for only like about 0.15% of all our traffic, a very minuscule portion. So the vast majority of our traffic is actually completely automatically processed by machine learning and automated models, and humans don't get into the loop. And they cannot, right? I'm saying if more than like a few basis points of transactions are being manually assessed, you can imagine all those people are kept waiting for hours before their transaction is completed, and that's not a good experience. So this bottom right metric is not just about money, but it's also about user experience. And I just want to throw this out there that because these achievements were pretty good, we actually were invited to participate at Informs, which is a very prestigious operations research conference, and Edelman, there is an Edelman Award competition in that conference. And we actually made through the first two levels, and we went all the way to the finals, and we were actually inducted to the academy, Edelman Academy. This is a very proud thing for us, because this is like an external, completely unbiased and independent validation of what was achieved because of the AI and OR capabilities of this product. And then finally, as I said, even before you get started with the product, we actually have the ability to let you go and make a quick assessment about what this product can do for your business, even before you exchange any data with us. And that is possible through something called an impact calculator. And this is a calculator we are going to shortly light up on our marketing webpage. You can, once it is lit up, you can go and do it yourself. And I can also show you if you're interested on my machine. What this basically does is that we ask you to identify your top KPIs, fraud KPIs, where they are today. And then we ask you to identify your segment of e-commerce. Like, is it retail? Is it like clothing, or are you selling airline tickets? Or is physical, digital goods, things like that? What kind of payment instruments are typically used on your portal? And then we ask you to give that information, and we take that segment information, and we try to identify a comparable segment in our current traffic in the fraud protection network. And then we show you, for comparison, what DFP achieves on that segment already. And then you can use that numbers to benchmark that versus what you're achieving today. And that can give you a quick understanding of what can be expected by using DFP. So I think I'll pause here. We are almost out of time, and I'm here to answer your questions if you're interested. Please go ahead and take a look at our website, ak.ms/DFP. You can also actually go and complete the survey if you can. I know not much attendance here, but it would be happy. I'm always willing to listen to your feedback. And I'm here to talk. If you have specific questions about what this can mean for your business, I would be happy to answer your questions. Thank you for coming. Thank you, sir. Thanks.